Hello everyone. So before we get into while loops, I forgot to mention something to do with for loop. So let's just wrap that up real quick. So I taught you how you can print from 0 to 10 in this case, but there's a way you can go from 11 to 1. So this is just something that is basic, but I forgot to mention. So in order to print in reverse order, you can specify start position, then till where you want to print, okay, end position, and you have to specify -1. So this -1 implies that now we are traversing in reverse order. Okay, so now instead of incrementing in every traversal, we are decreasing. Okay, so now if you print this, you're going to get 11, 10 till 2. Okay, so this is not what I exactly expected. So I wanted to start from 10 and go all the way up to 1. Okay, so now this is going to give me 10 to 1 reverse traversed order. Okay, so this was a quick concept that I wanted to brush over because I forgot to mention it in the for loop video. Okay, so now let's get to the topic of this video, which is while loop. Okay, so while loop, there is a connection that can be thought of when you're doing for loops and while loops. So let's try to do the same program that we did before using while loop. Okay, so let's initialize a variable I to 0, and I'm going to say while I less than 11, print I. Okay, after printing I, if you remember what I told you about the for loop, we increase I value by 1. Okay, so let's see what happens if I run this code. Okay, basically the same program as before, but this time we are using while loop. Okay, so this is what while loops do. So initially you have a variable defined to something. So as long as there is this condition, we are going to keep doing this, okay, this task inside the while loop. And it's important that you increase this I value by 1. Okay, so now I equal to I plus 1, if you're not familiar with programming, might be absolute nonsense to you if you're looking at this from mathematics point of view, because what I've essentially returned might come off as 0 equal to 1, which in Python, of course, in maths, this is what this means, 0 equal to 1, which is, nonsense, right? But this is not what I equal to I plus 1 means in Python. Okay, so basically, you can read this as this is a new I, which is basically the sum of the old I plus 1. Okay, so this does not mean 0 equal to 1. Okay, this does not mean 0 equal to 1. It just means that I value has been updated uh, to its previous value, which has been added, uh, which has been incremented by 1. So this is all the statement means. Okay, this you will get familiar once you start coding more in Python. Another way of writing the same thing will be plus equals 1. Okay, this means the same as equal to I plus 1. Okay, so you need to understand this. So how do you know when to use while loop, when to use for loop? Okay, so I would say, when you're traversing in a specified range, when you know what your start position, end position is, you can go with for loop. But while loop is also good if you are, talking about a specific condition and you want to be more intricate with the details of increment. I would suggest you go with while loop. So this might be little hard to explain because you won't understand this till we get to some problems. So as of now, just understand that there are two ways of, looping in Python. You can go with for loop, while loop, and we look at test cases, we look at examples, we look at how to solve problems using for loop and while loop. And I hope it gets more clear later on. Okay, so that's it for this video, guys. Thank you for watching.